Hello everyone, my name is Larry Kuntz. I'm President of North American Drilling Corporation. I'd like to welcome you today to the North American Drilling booth, well number 1A in Nolan County, Texas. Today is Saturday, July 16th, about 10 o'clock in the morning, and we're down about 700 feet or so. As you know, the rig was delayed getting out here, and they actually had some problems with the trucks and stuff, actually getting the equipment out. But we got out, we got set up, and everything is moving right along. Geologist has been out here, got the mud logger set up. Mud logger is going to be taking samples and everything, but we're not close to any of our target zones yet. It won't be down there until about 3,500 or so. And as you know, we're going down to about 6,800 on this one for the Ellenberger. There are several other zones that we want to look at, like Canyon Reef, the Strawn, the Caddo, Mississippian, Wolf Camp, and then the Ellenberger down at the bottom. But I just wanted to get out here and shoot a little video, show you what the rig looks like, give you a little tour of the location and the rig. And I think they're making a connection right now. You'll get to see that. I hope you enjoy this video, and wanted to say thank you for participating with us. Welcome aboard on this joint venture. If you have any questions or anything at all, please just give us a holler. I'll be happy to answer them. And anyway, I hope you enjoy the video, and welcome to the booth, number 1A, Nolan County, Texas. Thank you very much. It's Blue Line drilling rig number 3 on the booth, well number 1A well. Here's some drill pipe. This is what they call a heavy collar. This big thick one here, very heavy, goes on the bottom. And what makes up what they call the drill string, all of these pieces of pipe, the heavy collar and the drill bit on bottom is what makes up the drill string, which is all the pipe connected in a hole that goes down to drill the well. So you got the drill bit on bottom, a couple of stabilizers, heavy collars, and then the drill pipe. The drill pipe is laid out over here on these racks, and laid up there on the ramp, and then they hoist it up and put it in the rat hole for the next piece. I'll show you that in a sec. We'll go on up here. Over here we have the mud pumps. This is the dog house, the derrick, crow's nest. Oh, there's a mud logger trailer, supervisor tool pusher trailer. There's my trailer. We'll go on up here. Fuel tank, water storage under here, and this tank on the bottom. These are the hydraulics that control the blowout preventer. The rams, there's these rams that are in the blowout preventer that in the event of a blowout or something, the rams will close on the blowout preventer, and these hydraulics is what under pressure seals off the well. There's the traveling block. This big black hose has got mud going down it to the center of it. Mud travels through the big black hose, goes through the center of that Kelly. That square piece of pipe is called the Kelly, and it's connected through the Kelly bushing to the drill string, the drill pipe, and it's all, you know, hollow, so the mud goes through the center of all of it down to the bottom of the hole, flushes all the cuttings back up. The mud program is very important. It helps to bring up all the cuttings and coat the inside of the well, to stabilize the inside of the well, cool the bit, lubricate. And here is the blowout preventer. This big piece here. This is the blowout preventer. These are the pipe rams right here. These go in and seal off the well here. And this is called the blowout preventer, a very important piece of equipment. Very dangerous place to be. I'll get out of here. Here's some casing, piece of casing, 8 5/8 surface casing in there. It's the doghouse. The lockers and winch. Here's the drill pipe getting ready to go in the hole. They'll lift these pieces of drill pipe up in the air, and they put it down in the rat hole here. So that's the next piece that'll be used right here. That's the Kelly bushing. Kelly bushing fits inside the turntable, which is going round and round right now. You see the turntable spins. Kelly bushing in the Kelly, which is this square piece of pipe here. All of it turns, and all of that is turning the drill pipe or the drill string in the hole and the bit on bottom, and that's what's drilling our well. This is called a slip right here. When they make a connection, they'll drop the slips. They'll drop the slip in the hole to hold the pipe in place while they add some more pipe. This is a tong right here, and over there is another tong. And the tongs are like giant wrenches that grab onto the pipe. They'll grab on the bottom of the pipe, the other one will grab on the top piece, and they'll unscrew or screw the pipe together using those tongs, those giant wrenches. This is called a Drawworks, this big blue piece of equipment. That is basically it's a giant winch, and that cable goes up all the way up to the top of the crown, comes back around, and that's the traveling block. So it's all a giant winch and pulley system that's supporting the entire weight of the drill string. And as you can imagine, the more drill string we add, the heavier the drill string is, the more weight on the bit. And so that's what this gauge over here is showing, the weight, how much weight we have on the bit. It's important to know that. There's some more slips right there. Is a slip. Here is a drill bit. This was the surface bit. So this drill bit was connected to on the bottom, the stabilizers, the heavy collars, and then the drill pipe. It's a PDC bit. This silver rod right here is part of the survey tool. There's another section that they screw on the bottom here that makes it about 6 feet long. They run this survey tool in the hole every other connection to make sure we're check the deviation to make sure we're drilling straight. And this is the drill brake right here. This is where the brakeman works all these controls, the driller, to control the winch and raise and lower the pipe out of the hole, basically. These chains are used also to tighten the pipe together. We'll be making a connection here in a minute. When we make a connection, it's called making a connection is when we add more pipe. They break it apart and add more pipe to it. Coming in here to the doghouse, some lockers and stuff. Here's some harnesses. Here's some of our permits. Booth 1A. Booth. North American Drilling Corp. Booth 1A. Here's where they write down, this is the driller's log, where they write down making connections and what all work was going on. And then that goes on to the daily drilling reports, which are like this. And this is a chromatograph. This tells us how deep we are. We're about 600 feet right now. I thought we were at 7. Getting on down. Tools. Mud goes down the hole, it's pumped over here by these mud pumps. They're cleaning the rig right now. This is a mud pump, and that's another mud pump. They got 2 mud pumps. The mud is mixed up over there. It looks like those are bags of mud. Looks like sacks of concrete. It's actually mud. It's powdery. It's mixed up, mixed with water, and pumped to that black hose, goes down, flushes back out, and comes out. Go ahead. Comes out over here. Goes into the shale shaker, and then you can see the mud coming back out right over there. We're not using the shale shaker yet. We're not using these pits yet because we're not deep enough. But when we get down deeper, we mud up, all this will be filled with, these are the mud tanks. And all these tanks will be filled with mud. And it goes through a filtration process to try and get rid of the heavier sand and silts. And all of it goes back down here to be reused, the water mainly, and some mud goes back down here to be reused. They add more stuff and it's pumped back down in a big circle. The cuttings, all the cuttings and stuff fall out that way. Here's one of those tongs I was talking about. Big giant wrench, tong. Indicating the weight on the bit. There's a slip. They'll use that in a minute as a wedge. It'll go down in the hole, and you'll see that in a second. It'll hold the pipe in place. It's a nice day. It's been about 110 out here, 112. It'll be cranking up hot here in a little. There's the mud logger's trailer. He'll be setting up here soon. This is the shale shaker. When this is in operation, which it will be later, it helps to sort out all the larger particles, all the cuttings and stuff, and they just fall. Try not to. They just fall out here. They go down this ramp and out into the pit. And these are the mud pits. And we line them and everything, so there's no contamination, nothing. There's nothing hazardous about the mud. Anyway, it's actually just a mixture of bentonite and lime and stuff like that, crushed up. These mud tanks will be filled up with mud and water. They'll all be churning and filtering out some smaller particles. You go this way and filters out, filters out. Here's one of the mud pumps and the backup pump. Mud tanks. Right now we're too shallow to be mudding up or anything yet. Once we get a little deeper, they're going to start mudding up and all this will be filled up. Loud, very hot, very dirty. Here's some, the mud is a mixture of different stuff like gel. This is hydrogel here. And different kinds of, even detergents and stuff like that. There's some detergent. Everything's designed to either make the mud thicker or thinner, and to control the viscosity and the mud weight. Let's see, this is a lime. And that hydrogel stuff is a mixture of gel and bentonite, I think, and they mix it up in here. The mixing station. And it's just a white kind of powder. But we got to control the viscosity and the mud weight to either the mud also, the mud is very, very important, and what it also does is helps to hold back the pressure. There's a lot of enormous pressure downhole. The deeper you go, the more pressure you have. And obviously right now we don't have much pressure, but when we start getting deeper, we'll have more pressure, and so we need to have the mud weight to hold back the pressure, lubricate the hole, flush out all the cuttings, cool the drill bit. It does a lot of things. Very, very important. If you lose mud pressure or you have a problem with your mud program, you're in trouble. We're getting down, about to make a connection. There's a BOP. Cleaning up the rig right now. Always cleaning and trying to keep mud and everything and grease off of here. Every piece of pipe is about 30 feet long. On This rig, 3 pieces of pipe makes a pipe stand. When they pull out of the hole, they'll pull it out 3 pieces at a time, and they'll stand it up right here on the bottom part on the floor, and the top part goes in those racks. It's a very dangerous job to be up there racking it up, but all the drill pipe will be stacked up right here when they have to trip out to get a new bit on. They only have to do that maybe once or twice, maybe twice during this drill. It's called tripping for the bit, and it's a full trip. A lot of work to get it all out and go all the way back in with it. We're going to make a connection here in just a minute. Alright, I want to show you something. I'm trying to do this without falling off the rig here, but as you can see, we're drilling the booth 1A right here. Okay. Over there is the TIX booth well. No trailer. 1,200 feet away. And over there, we zoom in, is that sharp image well. Right there. That's the pumping unit right there. There's a tank. It's hard to see in there, but that's it. That well was pumping yesterday, but it looks like it's got the head off of it right now. They must be working on it. 1,200 feet away. So we're right in between those wells. Coming out of the hole to make a connection. Kelly bushing's up. He's about to drop a slip. There he drops the slip in. Throws a hong. Tighten it up. Lots of ways to get hurt out here. Pull the next piece out of the rat hole. We'll put it on. Everybody works together. Pulled the slips out, going back in. Kelly bushing, going back in the turntable. It's in and back to drilling. Now we're going to use this winch here to pull up that next piece of pipe. It's caught. They got caught on the fingerboard up there. They got it loose now. Damn. Going in there. And that's how we make a connection. It's like a symphony. Good job. Yeah. Those are called the fingerboards up there. That's what that rack where they rack up the pipe, called fingerboards. We're back to drilling now. About it. They'll keep doing that, making connections and getting on down till we reach bottom. We'll be going through several zones and checking the samples and all that, but the electric log is what we do at the very end. Once we get down to the bottom, we'll do Schlumberger comes out and does an electric log for us, and that's going to tell us really what we've got. Mud logs help and they can indicate things for us, but when it all comes together, we look at all pieces of the information together and determine whether or not to complete the well. And we're still shallow right now, but everything's going good so far. I hope you enjoyed this short little video. If you want to, you can come on out here and check it out for yourself. We'll be out here drilling for a couple of weeks. And if you need anything or have any questions, just feel free to give us a holler. We'll be sending out daily reports and updates. I want to thank you again for participating with us. And keep your fingers crossed. We'll see how this goes in about 2 weeks.